Wow, you're giving me a very, very difficult situation. Well, it's as much as writing an autobiography. And you see, when you talk about myself, or I have to speak about myself, I'm actually defining myself, okay? And I would like to point out here that when you define yourself, there are two large issues that come forefront. One is a public opinion and one is a personal opinion of oneself. Now, in the eyes of the public, I am a Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan recipient of the largest number of awards as an educationist, mentioned in the Limca Book of Records and so on. But when I look at myself as an individual, I realize that there are miles to go before I sleep. I'm just a dot in the ocean of service. I have big dreams, and my dreams are not for myself. These dreams are for those who need hand-holding. My dreams are for those special children, the mystery of which I have no answer for. Why does God create them? And why do they take birth? Because they will always, always need all the Shyama Chonas in the world to feel good. The turning point in my life was the birth of Tamanna. I would always think that motherhood is a beautiful experience, and the challenges of motherhood are real, and when you have a challenged child, then that challenge becomes multiple. I gave birth to Tamanna, my daughter, and I realized that God's creation had gone wrong somewhere. Whether it was her eyes, or it was her lips, or it was her head, I mean, everything, it seemed like a broken doll, and I had no means of repairing it. Because if God spoils something, the human endeavor is very, very, impossible. And then I realized, Shama Chona, what have you created? Do I say that a disabled child is the creation of God, or do I say that the disabled child is the creation of the mother? Because I had nursed the baby for 9 months. When my own daughter was born, I thought it was very, very sad, and I really felt, why me? And these questions didn't stop coming to my mind. But now I have an answer. Why me? Because I had to go through this journey to be able to achieve, not only for myself, but for the rest of them, that 10% population of the world, solutions for their parents. Now I feel that whenever you are, having a baby in your arms, which is not perfect, then don't call it a curse, call it a blessing, because it makes you matured. They are much happier than you, I can assure you. My daughter's level of joy is much greater than mine. She doesn't forget anybody's birthday. She doesn't forget to say good morning. She's perfect on WhatsApp. And many people are telling me, oh, Tamanna wishes us good night, good morning, how are you? I mean, we people in the run of life forget these little courtesies which make us all so happy. So we are teaching these children to give joy, to receive joy. And also I think there's a great camaraderie among themselves. And I think they have no worries. We worry for them. They are bindas. They are absolutely top of the world. You won't believe it, today Tamanna is 44 years old and she's teaching in DPS Infant Vasant Vihar. She is so successful, and I sometimes feel that she has much greater social skills than I do. Her confidence level is up there, and she sings, she dances, she loves party time, and she knows exactly how to make herself, loved. father was a Rai Sahib, and he was given this title from Lord Waverley, and I was the last of the 5 siblings. We used to live 6 months in Simla and 6 months in Delhi because the British capital changed. So we had lots of fun, and then I was sent to the country's first and the best all-girls public school called Maharani Gayatri Devi. And I was selected after my MA to go to Ohio for my research. So I think my entire upbringing has been like, a bed of roses. Those teachers who worked with me in DPS for all 38 to 40 years remember me, my kids remember me. One of my students of the 1980 batch, Raghuram Rajan, is the governor of the RBI. And at this point, when I have 50 years of professional life behind me and a daughter of 44 years, and I realize that nothing is impossible. You can be a good mother, you can be a good daughter, as long as you have faith in yourself. And that faith in yourself doesn't just come, it has to be built. And I think it begins with your upbringing as a baby, as a child. What kind of environment your parents have brought you up. And I always believe in 3 E's: exposure, environment, and education. To confess, I was managing nothing. God was managing for me. I have no answers for the mysteries of my life, because when I look back and I realize that 1,000 children were passing out in 12th class every year from DPS, and 90% of them were scholar badge holders, I realized that it couldn't be me. It must be an entity bigger than me that was really doing everything for me. Challenges are there in every walk of life. This may be a little more challenging, but the joy that I have received, the satisfaction that I have got, has led me to have even greater dreams. As I said, miles to go before I sleep. And every single day, I am, being sort of injected by God with bigger visions. They are special. They are creation of God for all of us to learn that how perfect human body is supposed to be, and we forget it because this perfection comes so easily to us. It is when you live in the company of special people, you realize that everything God has placed for most people in place, whether it's the eyes or it's the nose or it's the ears, or it is your vocal cords, or it is your entire growth physically, mentally, emotionally. And when something goes amiss, how hard it is to repair. I must confess that I've had excellent cooperation, excellent collaboration, excellent, acceptance of the fact that Tamanna as an organization was the first special center in Delhi for the mentally challenged, and we had a hostel for boys and girls to begin with, and the parents felt that here is an oasis in their life of desert, because these kids want company, these kids want love, these kids want to be occupied, these kids want to touch the sky, tare zameen par. The learning by themselves is not possible. So you have to create situations, you have to create material, you have to create environment which will make these kids, learn. I'm very sad because in spite of all that is happening, there is very little which our, society is accepting. A lot needs to be done by the Government of India. This is a sector where, the need to help is huge, but provisions require greater understanding. And as I said again and again, that each and every individual, whether he is capable or not, has aspirations. The challenges of life are not finding solutions in the books of MA and so on. They are finding solutions within yourself. I live my life in a way that it's the last day of my life as far as living it up is concerned, but I have the whole life ahead of me as far as learning is concerned. So it's impossible for me to answer your question, but surely I think if people want to hear something from me, it is introspect. I think I'm a gardener. To a gardener, the garden is very beautiful, important, and new blossoms come, beautiful flowers come, but they don't belong to the gardener. Similarly, nothing belongs to me, not even my thoughts. All I can say is that life is what you make it to be, and you can't blame your past karmas. I mean, I don't know about them because I haven't seen my past life, and you cannot solve the mysteries of what you land up in. And 3, accept, but improve that situation after accepting it.